What is happening, YouTube? Thank you for joining me today on our very first Mission Monday. I have kind of gone with that moniker, as it were, just because I really wanted to have a specific time that I drew attention to things that were important to me, and therefore they should be important to you because, how I think is how you should all think, right? No, but it is stuff that I think that really does need some, excuse me, it really does need some attention. So before we get going, welcome to the train wreck, and it definitely is a train wreck. Today, unfortunately, I wish it was something. The topic was a little better, but unfortunately, this is something that is, as if you've been watching this channel for any period of time, this idea of trafficking is close to my heart. And when I heard about this organization, I did a little bit of research into it to find out what they were doing and if they were actually being successful, tactics, things like that. These guys seem like the real deal. Now, some people may not agree with their tactics. I do, because I'm a parent. And so I'm surprised that it's not harsher than what they do. But their job is to rescue little boys and little girls from the slave trade, including sex trafficking rings and actual just slavery rings, which I know this is hard for many people to get their head wrapped around, but there's more slaves now than there has ever been. There's more slaves now than there has ever been. And so this kind of thing really, I believe I believe it needs attention. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to this video. This video is only 5 minutes long, 4 minutes long. I am going to let it play, and then at the end, I'm going to come back and we will talk about what my goal is to do for the channel for Mission Monday from here on out. So here we go.
He was 3 when they took him. When that first happened, I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't even get into my house and sleep because as a father, my job is, getting my son back.
I remember reading the story, and there was a picture of Gesno, and my heart just melted for him. As a father, I have enough experience to know very little is being done to find this little boy. And I said, I am in. I was working as a special agent for the U.S. government when they sent me to Colombia to do a training on how to identify children who are being trafficked, how to find traffickers, how to investigate. But I just thought to myself, you know what? I'm kind of tired of this training. That I feel like maybe it's getting too routine for me. I just want to do a real case. Let's find children in these 3 days and let's rescue them at the end. Now what do I do? Both times I made this promise and the US government said you can't do it, it's outside of our jurisdiction. And it was my wife who always has the easy answer, and she says, well, you've made these commitments, you have to quit your job. You've got to do these 2 cases, and if that's all you do, and then we find you another job somewhere, fine. But we've got to do these 2 cases. There's kids there, real kids that you have already identified.
2012, 2013, he said, I want to start this nonprofit. I want to empower governments in the U.S. and around the world, and I want you to come join me and lead my undercover operations around the world.
So I knew him as an author, and we became friends, and I didn't know that he had this secret double life. But I was coming into town, and he was in town, and he said, hey, do you mind if we meet and talk? I said, sure. And he reached under his shirt, and he pulled a federal badge out on the chain, and he sat there. He looked at everybody and he said, am I in trouble?
Wanting the world to wake up to what's going on, and 2 million children are sex slaves. It's the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world.
And he explained what he was doing, and he had a way that we could really make an impact, but they needed $1 million to start. And I said, I'm in. we'll raise your first million.
We got to Haiti and we worked with law enforcement. And we went into this place, this dark place, to find Gardy. It looked like an orphanage, but what it was a trafficker trap.
Last weekend, police broke up a major sex trafficking ring in Colombia.
25 Colombian special operatives stormed the party, arresting 5 suspects, 4 men and 1 former beauty queen. The victims were evacuated, given medical exams, and placed in a rehabilitation center where specialists are working to undo the damage.
We found the kidnappers. We cracked the case. There's 28 children that were rescued, but his son was not there. And I said, Guest, I'm so sorry. He said, if I have to sacrifice my son so that these 28 kids can be rescued, he said, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
I watched it twice so that wouldn't happen. It didn't help. So, this is the organization. This is what they do. They, on their website, it is, they use their abbreviation O.U.R. And so it's our resource, our rescue. I'm sorry. But when you get on there, they tell you exactly where they have been, what happened, who they rescued, who was arrested. I've seen these guys everywhere. I've seen them interviewed just over the last few years. When all you do is when you start looking into these guys, you find out these guys are the real deal. They they have a fairly, from what I can tell, they may have a fairly fluid definition of what legal and not legal is, but they are always working with the government. And I'm saying that jokingly. When you look at them, most of these guys are ex-military. They ain't freaking playing around. And the problem is these guys were in these combat zones where they saw these kids, they saw this crap that was happening to them, and they said enough is enough. So, I can't do that because, I'm a big sissy. Not really. My mouth runs a lot. I guess if my legs ran more, I would be less of a sissy. Let's not talk about that. We're not here talking about me. Golly, you're always talking about me. Good grief. What's wrong with you guys? But these kind of groups are groups I want to get behind. Now, so I'm going to figure out how to do a fundraiser on YouTube. Facebook is super simple. If you are interested in doing a fundraiser for these guys, you just go to their page and it does everything for you. It populates the post, allows you to adjust the goal, and then helps to promote it. So if you feel so moved, I would definitely encourage you to do so. Again, next Monday, Lord willing, I will have a fundraiser ticker going on this video when it plays to do the same thing, and I will mirror it on Facebook, I'm sure. But I want to make this day, I want to make Monday a day where we can come together and at the first part of the week when we're as fresh as we're going to be, and to learn about these groups and organizations that are reaching people who are being forgotten. They're falling between the cracks. The squeaky wheel in our society gets the grease, and they're not the ones who freaking need it. They're just the loudest. They're not the one in the greatest need. And my concern is that these people in this situation and other situations I'll be bringing on Mission Monday are people that are falling through the cracks, and their voice needs to be heard. These are human beings as well. They deserve to have a voice. Sorry, my violence has turned into crying. So I guess that's good. I'm not quite sure. I don't want to hurt people anymore, but sometimes I think it would be better. So, anyhow, did I say that out loud? I was going to say that's going to get me demonetized. That happened a long time ago. All right. Thanks for stopping in, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye.